And we'll just start by extending the legs, turning the palms to face up. And you can soften your gaze or close your eyes. And just start to connect with your breath. Allowing your breath to fill your lungs, your diaphragm, your belly. And feeling your back body supported by the earth. And just taking a few moments to be still. And bringing your focus and your energy to the present moment. And on your next inhale, reach your arms up above your head, walking your feet together, and just reach the arms and the legs in the opposite direction, getting some length through the torso, through the backs of the legs, the front of the legs, the arms. And then on your inhale, bend your knees and place the soles of the feet on the mat and reach for your strap. My strap has a loop in it, but you don't necessarily need the loop. And then you're going to bend your right knee in toward your chest and hook your strap or whatever you have handy on the bottom of the foot. Extend the leg up toward the ceiling, holding onto the strap with both hands. And then see if you can relax your shoulders and your upper back down into the mat. And you can keep your left leg bent if that feels better, or you can straighten through that left leg. And then just start to gently pull on the strap, bringing the right leg toward the body. And you want to come to your edge, so when you first feel that stretch. And we're going to stay here, breathing into the back of that right leg, the hamstring, the connection between the hamstring and the glutes. And again, see if you can release the upper body. You might notice the longer that you hold this pose, maybe you can bring the leg a little closer to the body and maybe not. Remembering that this is your practice. You want to listen to your body and you want to take it to your edge. If you start to feel any burning or pain, you want to let up a little bit and maybe just come back to one of those first positions. And we're going to hold this for a few more breaths. See if you can really send your breath into the back of the legs, releasing through the muscles. Allowing this stretch to get beyond the muscles and get into the fascia and the connective tissue. Good. And then on your next exhale, take the strap into the left hand, drop that right arm out to the side, and you can bend the elbow if you need to, cactus that arm. And then on your next exhale, start to bring the right leg across the body just enough so that you feel that stretch through the outer right hip and up through the side of the leg, the IT band area. So it's not about getting your leg all the way across your body. It's just about feeling that stretch, again, coming to that edge. Continuing to hold here, breathing into the outer hip. And doing your best to relax the upper body again. Notice if you're holding any tension in those areas. Try to release those areas. We just have a few more breaths. On your inhale, bring the leg back to the center. Exhale, bend the knee and remove the strap and just hug that right knee in toward your chest. Releasing through the hip crease. And then on your next exhale, release the sole of the right foot down to the mat. Hug the left knee in toward your chest. Reach for your strap, and you're going to hook the strap underneath the left foot. And then extend your left leg up toward the ceiling. Again, holding onto the strap with both hands, but releasing your shoulders and upper body down toward the mat. And if you'd like, extending your right leg. And then see if you can bring the left leg toward the body, remembering to come to your edge, that place where you first feel the stretch. And once you're there, again, breathing into the back of that leg and doing your best to release those muscles. In Yin, we want to relax the muscles rather than engaging the muscles so that it can get into that deep tissue area, opening up through the hamstrings. I'm just taking a few more breaths. And then hold on to the strap in the right hand, left arm drops out to the side. And on your next exhale, bring the left leg across the body just enough to feel that stretch through the outer hip and up through the outer area of the leg, the IT band area. And then again, notice if you're holding tension. You want to try to release that tension. You don't want to be gripping and holding on so tight that your upper body starts to hold all the stress and tension. Try to release those areas. Try to relax the muscles in your face, your jaw, your neck. And just a few more breaths. Noticing the feeling through the back of the leg, the side of the leg, the hip. No judgment, just notice. And then on your inhale, bring the leg back to the center, bend the knee in toward the chest, releasing the strap and just setting the strap off to the side. Hug the knee in toward the chest, releasing through the front of the hip crease. Good, and then on your inhale, hug both knees in toward your chest. And then roll over onto one side, bringing yourself up to sitting. And then bring the soles of the feet together, bringing your hands next to your hips. Press the knees down toward the floor, and then start to work your chest up toward the ceiling, gazing up toward the ceiling. Maybe you can bring your hands, your palms down to the mat. And then see if you can release those muscles through the outer thighs, the inner thighs. And if you notice any pulling on your low back, you want to bring the torso back up slightly, or maybe even walk your feet out away from the body so that the heels are a little farther away. That should take that pulling away. Otherwise, you can use one of your blocks and prop your sitting bones up so that your low back has that natural curve in it. And then you can stay here if this feels like enough of a stretch, or you can gently press into the fingertips and start to bring the torso forward. Or maybe you grab your ankles or your toes and just start to bring the torso forward, releasing your head and your neck. And you can always use a block underneath the forehead just to release into this pose even more, in this butterfly pose. And then send your breath to your inner thighs, your outer thighs. Again, releasing those muscles, allowing the stretch to get into the deep tissues. And see if you can relax the muscles throughout your face. Relax the upper back, the shoulders. And allowing gravity to help. And on your inhale, gently lift your head, your torso, and come back up. Using the hands on the outsides of the knees to bring the knees back up. And then just walk your legs out. And keeping the feet about hip distance apart, hands come next to the hips. And just windshield wiper the feet to shake out through the hips. And bring the legs back to the center. And bring your right knee in toward your chest. Pausing here. And then walk that right leg over the left leg. And then you can keep that left leg extended and then start to walk your right foot toward the left hip. So you can stay right here in this half shoelace pose, or you can choose to bend the bottom knee. So if you do that, you want your left foot to be working toward the outer right hip, and then walk that right foot over. And just adjusting so that your sitting bones are working evenly into the mat. You don't want to be leaning over to one side or the other. And then gently allow that top knee to work down over the bottom knee. And even if your knee is way up here like this, that's okay. You have to start somewhere. So see if you can relax those muscles through the outer hips, the leg muscles. And you can place your hands next to the legs. Pausing here. And again, you can stay here or start to walk the hands out, bringing the torso forward. And maybe you just keep reaching the fingertips forward as you release your head and your neck. Or maybe you stack your fists and rest your forehead on your fists. Or maybe it's just one. Or maybe you can rest the head or the chin on the top knee. I'm just breathing here into that outer right hip and hamstring. You might even feel this stretch on the left side. Again, remembering that you want to go to your edge. And on your inhale, gently walk the hands back toward the body, bringing the torso up. And then on your exhale, gently unwind the legs, reaching the legs out in front. And if you'd like, you can get a little shake, bouncing the knees or swaying the knees from side, or the feet from side to side. On your inhale, hug that left knee in toward your chest. And walk the left foot over the right leg. And then again, keep that right leg extended or bend the knee. And you might find that one side feels a little easier than the other. And that's perfectly normal, where most people are tight on one side as opposed to the other. So setting up here, just like we did on the first side, you want to try to line the knees up as best you can while keeping the hip bones down, the sitting bones working into the mat. And then just pausing here, sitting up nice and tall. And you can stay here, or maybe deepen the pose a bit, coming to your edge, relaxing the head and the neck. Breathing into the hips, imagining the hips are opening up and releasing any tension or negative energy. A lot of times we hold emotions in our hip area, and so it can be very uncomfortable. But do your best to sit with this pose, allowing the muscles to relax so that you can get into those deep tissues in the hips. On your inhale, gently bring the head and the torso back up, unwinding the legs. And then make your way back to lying down. And hug your knees in toward your chest. And maybe rock from side to side, just massaging through the low back, allowing the spine to work out any kinks from those forward folds. Bring the knees back to the center. Release your left foot down to the mat, reaching the arms out to the sides. Cross your right leg over the left leg. And then walk your left foot toward the center of the mat. On your exhale, bring the knees over to the left, stretching through the outer right hip, but also getting a gentle twist here in this twisted roots pose. I'm just taking a few more breaths here. Allowing the breath to be calm, allowing your focus to be in the present moment, opening up through the hips and the hamstrings. And inhale, bringing the knees back to the center, uncross the legs, bring the right sole of the foot down, cross that left leg over the right, walk your right foot an inch or two toward the center of the mat, and on your exhale, bring the knees over to the right, coming back into that twisted roots, gazing up or out toward the left hand, and just allowing this gentle twist to massage those internal organs, releasing any toxins, any negative energy, and cleansing the body. On your inhale, bring the knees back up, uncrossing the legs, and then just walking the legs out, extending the backs of the legs so that they're nice and long on the mat. Bringing your arms near your sides, palms facing up, and closing your eyes if they're not already closed, allowing the toes to drop out to the sides, and coming into Shavasana, resting the body. And of course,